Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 84. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Ling Wong, a copywriter, a coach, and the author of Secrets to Turning a Powerful Personal Brand into Content That Sells. Hello Ling.
Hey Patience, how are you?
I'm fine. I know the clan is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your online business? Take us right up to the last job or business before you were online.
Yeah, so it's been a while. So I had a training in design and architecture. And then, a few years later, I found myself as a project manager in online marketing or digital marketing agencies. So that's where I sort of get my feet wet in all the strategies and understanding of the online marketing landscape. And then I was doing that for about 8 to 9 years. And then I find an interest in becoming a health coach. So that's what I did. I got my training and I just jumped off the cliff and said, I'm going to do my own thing. So I started my health coaching practice, and then I've really found a knack in writing. So in creating content in a strategic manner. So I did that, and I started a business helping other health and wellness coaches with pre-written content and other online marketing strategies and coaching and whatever you call it. Basically, we got on the phone and tell them what to do. So that's really the start of me getting my feet wet in sort of the online business world as a business owner. So I did that. That became quite successful. And then I kind of started to branch out. I really find a passion in writing, in content strategy and content creation, and what I later would call content experience design. And, that's what I do now.
Why do you do what you do?
I think it always, no matter what the sort of the delivery method or the expression is, I think, what always comes down to, sort of like when I sit down and reflect on it, is really to help people express themselves. Like creativity and self-expression is a very important value to me. And at the end of the day, whether I am helping people with, some pre-written copy so they can actually spend the time to massage it and get clear on the message, or coaching people to help them get over the fear and mindset stuff, or, really helping clients not just to, spit out 1,000 words, but really to understand them under their tone and voice, and using the content creation process to get clear on the message and to augment the message. It all comes down to my value of self-expression and individuality and creativity.
What makes you so unique? Because I have seen lots of internet content marketing, email marketing, copywriters out there. Why are you so unique?
Well, I have my process, because I started out as a, more sort of like this a straddle between business and the self-improvement, self-development space. And I am very intuitive in the way that I work with clients. So it's not like I don't squeeze my clients through a process per se. So it's not like, oh, you come here, we have to do that buyer persona deck, or we have to go through this particular agenda because that's my agenda. Like, I don't do that. I just talk to a client and I just get what their brand is about. And then the process is very nimble. A client came in, we're like, okay, we're going to do a persona exercise. It turned out it's not it. It turns out it is a membership site strategy. And we go do it because it's like how I guide the conversation to really see what is strategically most beneficial for my clients, instead of saying, because I'm a copywriter, I'm to go make you do copywriting with me.
What is one thing that you can pinpoint that makes your students really successful?
I think it is it's a chicken and egg thing. Because people who actually, work with me now, just because the way that I put out my own content, I attract a very specific type of clients. So not just people looking for a copywriter, because I my rate is not competitive in the sense that it's cheap. So they come to me for a reason. Like, they know I'm going to get them. They know that we're on the same wavelength. So when they come to me, they're already there in terms of being determined to not just have some copy, but using the process to get clear on what they're about, to really step up and be heard as themselves. So just that mindset, I think, is the foundation of being successful in today's online world, because it is so noisy out there that if you don't have a unique point of view and personality, you're not going to stand out.
Wow. Okay. Let's put man aside. How did you know you were successful?
I think you can feel it in your guts. Like, I'm doing it. I'm going the right direction. And I mean, yes, it is absolutely monetary. Like, it is an indication that you're doing what you're good at and people are seeing the value of it. But at the same time, it is also, when you finish a piece of work, there is a sense of accomplishment.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success? I know it might be 100 things in combination, but what is that one thing that you go to and you say, this thing has really contributed to my success?
I always talk about discernment, because there are so many things you can do today in the online business world. And if you just get distracted by bright, shiny objects, you don't get anything done. And there are so many people saying, like, there's just like all these like strategies and tactics and sound bites and new resources, new tools and new software. But if you're not clear on what you really want to achieve, but before you find the tools to help you do that, you get distracted really easily and you don't get anything done.
Can anyone copy your materials and go out and use that idea, or is it because you are talented?
I think it's a combination. I mean, it is about, I think it's really about identifying your strength first and foremost. I mean, copywriting is not new, right? It is not. But the way that I interact with my client and the way that I get them, I think is, it is unique, at least like, way more unique than just saying I'm a copywriter, pay me $30 an hour, right? So I think there's a combination.
Do you think anyone can become a copywriter?
Anyone? No. I mean, some people just hate writing, then don't do it.
Okay. What reassurance or encouragement have you got for my members of a clan who are not quite there yet, who want to really try to do copywriting or maybe outsource content or start a business online? What one tip would you give them?
I think it's nothing to do with whether it's online or offline. There are a few things, right? Like, I think it really goes back to a combination of internal, external factor. But the important thing is like you need to get clear on what is it that, going back to Simon Sinek's book, that one of my favorite books is Start with Why, and really get clear on what drives you and what's your values and conviction, and how do you express that into the world, right? That's your message. When you have that message, you map that message to the people that you want to serve. That becomes your, that foundation, right? You have people that, because business is, at the end of the day, business is about people serving people, people working with people, but people buying from people. So if you have no interest in the people that you're serving, it's very hard to build that relationship and trust to have a sustainable business. So I think that's that. And also have a point of view that's on that particular subject matter that you're good at, that you want to, as a product or service, but you need a point of view, and that is filtered through your message and is relevant to the people you want to serve.
Okay.
And then I think that becomes the seed of your unique positioning.
Do you have mentor?
Not particularly. I mean, I work with different coaches over time, but not one person that particularly stands out.
Wow. Okay. What is your most valuable thing have you ever given away?
Valuable thing?
Yeah.
I mean, the valuable thing is always my time.
Tell us about your business. What is your business? What are you focusing on now?
Sure. So I do different things for my business, and I work with different types of clients. Under the Business Soul Work umbrella, I work with solopreneurs and coaches and consultants, more sort of the personality-driven businesses. Like, it is really the business owner is putting their face out there, connecting with the people. I like to call them the maverick-preneurs. They are disruptors, and they have a vision, and they want to really put that out into the world. So those are my favorite clients, because we're really on the same. I'm really on the same wavelength with these clients, and we go above and beyond of just writing copy. It is about helping them find that gem in them, to find the strength and really articulate it so that they can step up to claim what is so unique about them, so that we can create a unique brand and unique positioning. And then the copy will come. Like, it's nothing really fancy. It's writing an about page. It is writing a work with me page. But when you get clear on that, that gem, that unique story, that unique positioning, then everything just flows. That's like and what I like to call the transformative storytelling is that actually through telling your own story, you get deeper and you get more connected into who you are and why you're doing what you're doing and the value that you deliver to this world. So that is one thing that I do. Another thing that I do is I also work with typically small and medium-sized businesses as a consultant on content strategy and also content creation.
Wow. Do you take on new biz to online, or do you just have to, do you work with established companies and established businesses?
I mean, I won't say no, but typically, I think it's just the way that businesses are structured. Larger businesses tend to want to have, or they can afford a full-time content person in-house, right? Mm-hmm. Versus sort of smaller or medium-sized companies, they want something more nimble, so they tend to look for a contractor who can work with them on a long-term basis, who gets the brand, but not really having to have a full-time person either.
Wow. Okay. Do you have any morning rituals or your business rituals you do within your business?
Not particularly. I mean, I have 2 young kids, so the first thing I wake up in the morning is not ritual, is get the kids out the door. But I tend to sort of like do a restart when they're out the door, to really sit down and gather myself and look at, look at what I have on the docket today, and make sure that I wrap my head around what I need to do for the day.
Wow. What is your book all about? The Secrets of Content. Tell us a little bit about that book.
Yeah, so the book's, if you go to Amazon and search for Copywriting Alchemy, it should be the first one that comes up. So it is about, it is about first creating a standout personal brand, and then you can express it to the world. So there's kind of a two-part kind of thing. Is that first is about getting clear on your values and convictions, and what I like to call superpower. Turn it into your message, find your point of view, apply it to your expertise, and then decide on the delivery method. For example, a webinar or a blog post, right? That matches the need of your audience, and also highlight your strength. So that is the personal branding part. And then we have the copywriting part, which essentially is really about how do you express this unique personality to connect with your audience, to make them feel like they know you and they trust you, because that is really the basis of conversion.
Wow. Okay. Right. So where do we find you if you want to connect with you and rolling into your coaching or your classes? Where do we find you?
So my website is business-soulwork.com. Soulwork spells SOULWORK. So business-soulwork.com.
Okay. So, Clan, there will be more from Ling Wong in a moment. If you are finding Ling journeys interesting and you are ready to hear more, come and listen to the full version of the interview at onlinesuccessjourney.com. If you're on Online Success Journey already, click on part 2 of Ling Wong's journey, and you'll get more tips to help you with your own copywriting, on content marketing, and how you can bring your new branding message out. And don't forget, you can access all other Online Success Journey interview podcasts on the site as well. That's a wrap, Clan. Remember, success is a journey, patience and Ling.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.